First of all, as I said, thanks to all of the team and being part of this. It's great to create something like this for the APAC region. And John set the great foundation, because what we do at Indian 3D Printing Network is something similar. Of course, we're not funded by the government. It's more of a professional entity, but the idea is similar. I just steal a line from John before our networking. We are enablers, facilitators and educators. I think that's what we're trying to do as a platform, and bring together the community in India. So before I talk a bit about us, I'll just take everyone through a quick snapshot of the additive manufacturing scenario in India. Just a disclaimer, I think all the company names or logos are just representative. There may be more companies in this industry, but it's whatever we've mentioned is more representative. We're not promoting or specifically working with those companies. It's more of a representative nature. So this is an excerpt from one of our reports which we created in 2019. Of course, it's just gives you a snapshot of what India is working in the additive manufacturing space. So if you look at the manufacturing space, automotive was one of the first movers with polymer prototyping, using this technology for the various product development stages. Of course, tooling, dyes and molds is an industry which is pretty much active in the is using additive manufacturing for conformal tooling and other activities. The jewelry has been one of the major adopters of this technology, where most of the designs today in India are developed using 3D printing, and of course then goes into the investment casting process, which is a standard for jewelry technology. Precision engineering, automotive. One thing I'd like to mention, that most of the two-wheeler or motor manufacturers here, which is a huge technology, are being adopting this technology. If you look at metal AM, of course, defense, aerospace, tooling, these are some of the areas where metal is being used. And medical, of course, with our large population, is definitely going to be one of the large applications. So today, in terms of pre-surgical models, we're looking at pre-surgical tools, we're looking at medical devices, implants, a lot of the dental market. So if we see today that there's a lot of export of dental crowns and copings, which is going out of India. So that's a snapshot in terms of what we're talking about. Of course, based on our estimates, we value the market Indian AM industry at close to $0.6 billion, which includes, of course, the investment in technology, the supply chain, the end product. So it's the whole value of the Indian chain. Of course, this may be a bit higher than this. These figures are from 2019. So closer to $1 billion is what I would say would be something realistic. Now, to look at the application split in India, we're looking at automotive, which was the first mover, this close to 20%, followed by tooling engineering at 18%, jewelry, healthcare and dental, consumer products, electronics, educational research, government, defense, aerospace, others. So I'm sure the government, defense, aerospace has risen in the recent times, and of course medical with the kind of resilience which the Indian 3D printing supply chain has shown to support the emergencies caused due to the pandemic. It's definitely the government, defense and aerospace has increased in the recent times, and also the healthcare part of it. This is just to talk about the metal industrial systems today. We have these systems across different industries like aerospace, tooling, engineering, automotive, medical, and dental. Closer to 100 systems today in India, with the German organizations like EOS and SLM leading the chain, of course, with 3D systems as well in the group, and followed by all the other technologies like Concept Laser, Sysma, Renishaw, others. Of course, there's a few recent installations in terms of RCAM, where we've got a few e-beam installations coming into the country. So it's an exciting time for the metal AM industry, and it's important to ensure that the stakeholders are connected to grow this technology. Just a bit about the academia and education. The IIT centers, which is the Indian Institute of Technology, and of course IISc Bangalore, they have been at the forefront of AM research, along with NIT centers and other centers in India. For example, again, I'd like to make a point that these are representational. Of course, there are more government and private institutions who are doing work, but this is just to give you a flavor of what's happening. IISc Bangalore has set up the AM Center of Excellence at CPDM, which is the Center for Product Development, and they're building a globally competitive DED system as we speak. CSIR, which is the Apex research organization under the government of India. There's a lot of research going on AM and collaboration with Fraunhofer as well recently to advance AM in India with the expertise which the German institute has. ARCI, which is a premier material research organization. There's a lot of material characterization and other research happening here. Education, there are most of the mechanical engineering or engineering courses today have an elective on additive manufacturing. However, a few of the colleges or universities like IIT Mumbai, College of Engineering Pune, NIT Warangal, National Institute of Electronics and IT, they have specific courses for additive manufacturing, including maybe a MTech degree at NIT Warangal. So these are the few institutes who are working on 3D printing specifically on the education side. Of course, many private institutions, as I said, are conducting academic and research activities. Doesn't allow us to name all the initiatives in this short time. So, we thank all the other academic and educational institutes as well doing great work in this space. Just a bit on the government initiatives, grassroots, Atal Tinkling Labs in schools has been a great movement for the desktop 3D printers and the startups in India. Close to 10,000 schools have been addressed, and each of these schools has these tinkering labs which has a desktop 3D printer as well. So this has boosted the understanding and knowledge of 3D printing at the grassroots level. Of course, recently the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is also working on a national policy for AM, and the work is in progress to set up a national center for AM close to Hyderabad, which is also going to work as a central decision-making or advancing body for this technology in India. Technology grants under various schemes have been supporting universities to invest AM systems, organizations in their research. Of course, the space sector opening up with ISRO and the government giving permission for a lot of private players to start up is leading to adoption of AM with development of new engines and product development there. The government and defense organizations like ISRO, HAL, BEL, DRDO, of course, with indigenization of defense, are looking at investing in AM infrastructure and components to speed up the production time. So, there is a lot of foundation now for AM to really grow exponentially in India, and it's important to handhold this industry to ensure the sustainable growth continues. Some new horizons before I quickly wrap up is a lot of local development and manufacturing of industrial AM systems, which will really boost this industry is for example, Intech Additive Solutions launching their own laser bed powder machine recently, which supports even the smaller bed size and the large bed size. Others will soon follow. There are a few, I wouldn't like to name them today, but there are a few others in the works where they are working on metal bed, DED, a lot of other technologies like binder jetting. We will soon see all those coming out into the market. Local material development is also very exciting because that's what's, again, material is going to drive the next growth of this technology. So companies like Indomim have taken first steps where they are setting up manufacturing facilities. A lot of other organizations as well are coming up to the fore. India, of course, with a large engineering and IT workforce, is in a great position to take advantage of this, as a hub for design engineering. So, which they already are. So, additive manufacturing really fits well into this strategy and plan. And with a large addressable market, AM applications of healthcare and dental will scale. It's a huge captive market, and as these technologies become more affordable, customized implants, and all these things will really help improve the quality of life. And as I mentioned earlier, indigenization of defense will lead to new product development and opportunities. So this is just a brief snapshot. It's really difficult to talk about the whole industry in about 15 minutes, but this gives you an idea of where India is at today. This is a quick snapshot about us. We started Indian 3D Printing Network back in 2015 with a trade show. We organize, just like John mentioned, in Australia they do trade shows. We organized India's largest trade show in India. We had our last show in 2019 with close to 60 exhibitors and 2,700 visitors. We had most of the leading AM companies in India participate at that show. And apart from trade shows, of course, we have other initiatives which we work to build and support this industry. We started AM Chronicle back in 2017 with the initiative of keeping the industry abreast with the latest developments. We worked on, we launched the India AM report in 2019, which again keeps the industry aware of what's happening in the industry. And recently in 2020, we launched our training initiative, Additive Academy, in partnership with the Barnes Group Advisors and at Purdue University. We're also working with ASTM to promote their training courses in the Indian subcontinent as well. So in all, we are looking to be that support system for this industry to grow, and looking at the growth coming in, we want to help in each of these areas. Additive Academy, of course, as I mentioned, is a training and education initiative by us. We offer 360-degree expertise with courses across customized AM training with a focus on both polymer and metal technologies. Our team is, we have a few technical advisors who have been experts in the industry, who have worked with the metal AM service bureaus. We have worked with OEMs who are using AM. We have a few young practitioners and adopters as well. And just to quickly sum it up, our aim at Additive Academy is basically training programs, so customized AM training with focus on both polymer and metal, support on the full AM process. So our expertise today spans right from material selection, design to final inspection and regulatory requirements. And but I think the main important factor which we bring in is vendor and technology agnostic. So we are not allied or trying to support any particular technology or vendor. We skill customers based on what their needs are. And of course, consulting services and industry-specific training. So with that, I'd like to conclude my presentation. Hope I've kept to time.
Yeah, we actually have for one question. Thanks everyone for upvoted these questions. We will send them to Aditya later. But how do you envisage supporting innovative startups, and what are the routes of collaboration in the Indian market?
Primarily, it's important to understand what the startups are trying to do, and we're happy to work with them to understand what their aims are, and perhaps create something. I think again the answer comes back to something like what we're doing now. We're connecting APAC, the market. I think that's what we did in pre-COVID times. We connected people, provided networking platforms which allowed startups to showcase their technology and look at this industry. So we would like to continue to do that, and companies are we are happy to connect with the startups and understand their needs and connect them to the right people which would help them grow.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Aditya, for the blitzy introduction of the Indian additive manufacturing.
Yeah, it's a lot of info to pack in 15 minutes.